It's me again, friends. Oh, it looks like we're live.
Yes.
Hello, flower friends. Sorry for the delay. How about this? Is this not the most gorgeous? This is Jura Salmon, but you'll learn more about her shortly when we dive into this show. So I want to welcome everybody. This is our Labor Day weekend kickoff, right? It's a 3-day weekend for many people. And in today's show, I'm going to be sharing some of my working smarter, not harder in your garden. And literally, that is so true, y'all. Why do you think we were able to do all that we do? And we're going to look at all of this haul. We have so many flowers to show you guys. I have some new seeds to reintroduce to you. We, of course, are going to do our prize drawing for viewers who are inside the app. And then we always like to wrap it up with a live Q&A at the end. And if you have a question that comes up that you'd like to add for me to try to answer, in the comments, just put @Lisa and whatever your question is, and the team will gather those up and we'll try to answer a few of those. So friends, before we get started, I just want to tell everybody, you know, this little button down right down here at the bottom, that is how you can share this with your friends and let them know you're over here. And we appreciate when you do that. And also remember that when you place an order here, please double check your email address and your phone number for any errors, because we need to be able to get in touch with you perhaps for shipping, or we have to send you a tracking ticket. And we have a lot of typos. Happens often. So please double check that for us. And also here in the app, free shipping on seed packet only orders. That means if you only order seed packets, the shipping is on us. And when you buy products, the shipping is capped at $11.95. Doesn't matter how many products you buy, 1 or 12, you just pay $11.95 once. And we do ship to all 50 of the United States. And so, friends, if you have just come upon us on social media, we are so glad that you found us. But I want you to know we have an app, and this is what it looks like. And you see all this conversation going on down here. When you're inside the app, you can communicate with the other live viewers, but most importantly, you get to participate in the giveaway. How do you get it? You can just jump right now over to your phone's app store, search Gardener's Workshop, download the Shop app. It'll take about 30 seconds, and jump right back over here with us. We'll be here waiting for you. Okay? All right. So frequently during the live, we sell out of items. And if you go to an item to put it in, it says out of stock, hit the get notified. That simply means that if the team is working to bring more stock over from our big website, you'll just get a little ding on your phone, so you won't miss out on that. And lastly, if you see people posting this sunflower emoji, which is part of our logo, that is the TGW family, which is made up of our course students and the members of my private flower farming club. And they're just showing the love, and we love seeing that. So thank you guys for doing that. Now, friends, I'm doing $25 store credit again this week. I am giving it away. To be able to enter, you have to be inside the app. Hit the button now, and that'll put you on the wait list that we actually pull from at the end of the show. And you must be present to actually claim it, right? So don't miss out on that. And friends, we have a sale, and you're gonna see this so many times during this show. We have a $10 off all orders over $75, and that is for in-stock items only, and that is the product total, less, shipping and taxes don't count towards that. And you can use this coupon code on the website or here inside the app. There are some exclusions like gift certificates, the club, courses, and any prior purchases, and you can use this up until Monday night at 12 midnight Eastern time. So, but you have to put work in at checkout or you won't get the $10 off, right? So you have to use the coupon to actually.
Kim got to post her sunflower emoji for the first time.
Aw, congratulations and welcome, Kim, into the family. And so glad you're here. Thank you so much for sharing that. So, friends, the tip of the day is how continuously learning and improving is the key to easier gardening and farming, because we get stuck literally in a rut. Because we think something's so hard and then you never want to do it and then you ignore it and it gets out of control. There's always a better way to do it. And I just want to say to have open ears for new techniques and new ways. And I really feel like we are really good about that here at the Gardener's Workshop. I mean, we're just always looking for newer and better ways. And, Albert Einstein, pretty smart dude, right? Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. And those are words to run a business by, y'all, and actually life. So let's do a little bit of talking about working smarter, not harder. Spending a half a minute to plan and lay out your space for efficiency, inside and outside. That means like your seed starting room. For me, that meant my whole garden, for all of our production garden, is arranged for the least amount of steps for harvest. That's the most work in the garden, right? And so spend a little bit of time thinking about where's your water? Where are you going to be taking the flowers or the vegetables to? What do you know what I mean? And we're heading into that season now, y'all, when you'll have a little time to think about that. And the rule that I live by is to eat the ugly frog first. That means the thing you least want to do it first thing. And first off, you just can't even believe you'll be 2 inches taller when you do that because you're just feeling so much lighter, right? And that is another rule to live and work by for sure. And then keeping up with regular maintenance. We are all about preventing weeds so we don't have a huge old weed patch. And it happens to us too. But the key is to have a garden size that you can manage, to mess around in every week and keep things under control, to keep that weeding situation good. And night and day difference, y'all, in using quality tools. It just makes the job easier, faster, funner, all of the above, right? And so the other thing I'll say that one of the best kept secrets I felt like that was kept from me because I never understood it was succession planting. Y'all, that just means you don't plant your entire garden all at once. You break it up into 2 or 3 sections and do it over several many weeks. That spreads out the work, that spreads out the harvest, that spreads out everything. And that's the way that commercial growers live. And that's why we can do so much. So apply it to your garden. And then to really, instead of fighting, fussing, and bickering with nature, give it a hand. The world was made perfectly, and we screwed it up, imbalancing it by doing the things that we do. But just with a little bit of help, gardening can really be a very natural experience without having to use pesticides. We don't even use organic pesticides here. So there you go. And the other thing that I find for people is that they don't harvest completely. They overplant, which leads them to not cut everything at every harvest. So stuff grows out of control, grows weeds, and that is all prevented by harvesting completely and twice a week. That's our recommendation. And it is just so much quicker and faster to harvest when you do that. You just have to practice it. And then to get help and delegate. If you're a business owner, be honest about when it's time to hire help. That's one of the things that I do talk about in Flower Farming School online. That's in the first class, which is the business class, 1 of 6. And it's about when do you hire help. And learning to be a delegator is hard, but it is wonderful once you do it, friends. And we have another wonderful quote from author Ash. Start where you are. Use what you have and do what you can. Y'all, nothing else is expected of you beyond that, right? So let's take a look at the books. We always kick off every show typically with the books because, friends, every question that I get about growing cut flowers, whether it's for a home garden or as a commercial grower, is in this book, is answered in this book. I'm not kidding you. This book came out last year. It features 66 different flowers, 41 of which are cool season hardy annuals. Plus, when you purchase the book from us, we give you this free bonus download of the 6 flowers that we just did not have room for. 5 of them are 5 more cool season hardy annuals. So in fact, you get 46 cool season hardy annuals and everything you need to know. But more importantly, this book really guides you, literally gives you a place to write dates in here for you to grow a 3-season cutting garden. Cool and warm, and how you bring that all together. I would love to sign a copy of the Cut Flower Handbook for you. Now, I mentioned a couple of things in our talk, succession planting, giving nature a hand. Vegetables Love Flowers, my book, is not about growing vegetables, y'all. It's about why vegetables appreciate being in the presence of flowers and all that flowers invite to the garden. This book really shares my natural gardening philosophy of how to do it without pesticides, as well as how to drop a little cutting garden in the middle of your vegetable patch and harvest it like you do your tomatoes and your basil, and how that'll benefit you and your garden and your environment. So Vegetables Love Flowers actually comes with a free bonus video book study, and would love for you to have one of these. And of course, I sign every book that comes from the Gardener's Workshop, and would love for you to have this one. And then, of course, the book that started the whole enchilada, y'all. Cool Flowers. So I based this book on my decades of growing cool season hardy annuals. I actually wrote it for the home gardener, but it's easily applicable to a flower farmer. And this is like the first step. If you aren't familiar with growing cool season hardy annuals, this is where you start. And then when you get to the Cut Flower Handbook, you take it to like graduate school level of return on what you're doing. So this little book also comes with a free video book study, and I would absolutely love to sign one of these for you. So that is Cool Flowers, the book that started it all. Oh, sure. So the quote that I just read by author Ash was, "Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can." I mean, are those words to live by, y'all? Those are words to do business by, too. All right. So, still showing off my babies, y'all. Look at this. This is 40 little plants growing in the 3/4-inch soil block. This is my Black Magic, isn't it Black Magic? Yes, kale. This is edible kale. This is not cut flower kale. And they will grow in this block until they get planted out in the garden, which will be probably in about another 10 days. But this is like such an incredible space savvy. And then y'all, this is my secret to being able to grow carrots to eat out in my garden. I pre-sprout them indoors in soil blocks, then just drop them into, I'm going to actually plant these, I decided yesterday, out in my raised garden. And then they'll go on to grow, because, you know, carrots typically don't like for their roots to be disturbed, but soil blocking air prunes, y'all. So that root is sitting right at the bottom of that soil block, just waiting for me to drop him into more soil. Soil blocking is pretty dadgum amazing, y'all, and it's changed my life, literally. All right, so am I demoing first?
Sure.
Okay. So let me show you how I make those, and then I'm going to sow some little tiny seed. All right. So this is, for anybody that's never met a soil blocker, we import these from England, and we sell the original model. And this is blocking mix, and it's mixed with water. It's much wetter than other seed starting mixes usually require, or methods. You hold the stationary bar, and you just push it down into the mix. I do it twice, because I want to be sure that my chambers are nicely full, not packed. And this is a potato masher, y'all. That is the best tool for the job, because we're working smarter, not harder, right? And then we use flat bottom trays with no drainage holes. You place the tool down, give it a squeeze, and we just made 20 little blocks, y'all. The block is actually Why don't we turn this sideways and let me have the, there you go. The block is the actual container. So now I'm gonna sow some seeds. Let's see how we can do this. I think back,
Yeah.
all right. So I need those seeds. So,
They were in there.
and I need a clean toothpick too, please. So we use an aluminum seed pan because it has no static electricity, y'all. And when there's no static, that means that you can just pick a seed up. So because it's a tiny little seed, I'm gonna dump them right in here. I don't know if y'all can even see how tiny these are. Scalpel. And so the way that this is really efficient, y'all, is you spit in the tray. And no, I am not gonna spit right here on the shelf, but I will spit over here. All right, so I have my little spit. Why do you use spit instead of water? It is far stickier, y'all. And then literally, I am just gonna touch my toothpick to the seed, and it literally, can y'all see it better that way maybe? It literally jumped right on the end of my toothpick because there's no static electricity holding it back. Now, we read on the outside of our seed packet, cover seeds with soil. And this is a tiny seed, so people often don't assume that it doesn't need to be covered. How do I do that? I just push the seed deeper into the block. And y'all, it is literally this simple. It is so simple, in fact, that people usually screw around with it and mess it up. You know what I mean? They feel like it needs more tending or something. That is it. You don't need to put soil on top of it. You just touch it in, push it deep to create the cover that this particular seed, because they're all different, y'all, you have to read the instructions. And that, my friends, is how you sow a seed that needs to be covered with soil. All right, so how can you get started? Now, I want to say that this kit that I'm getting ready to show you, which is the #1 selling product that we've had since 2005, it's always a customer favorite. It is already a discounted kit because we put it together and made it a kit, right? It's $89.95. Apply the $10. This is the bargain of, if you've been sitting on the fence for any time, now is the time. Don't forget to use the work. This is the kit. It comes with the 3/4 inch soil blocker. It comes with 5 trays that hold 3 sets of 20, right? There's your seed pan. It comes with your own little package of toothpicks that are branded, for that was our 25th year anniversary, which was actually like 4 years ago. And these are little plant IDs, or I use them for tools. You get these, you get your choice of either 3 warm season seeds or 3 cool season seeds. I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? Get the cool season ones, y'all. And it also comes with our Seed Starting Made Easy online course. You have lifetime unlimited access to this, y'all. So you have me to guide you step by step whenever you need it. It comes with a bag of the ready-made mix. This is 6 quarts, y'all. It makes 600 of those little tiny blocks. So you get all of this stuff for $89.95 plus $11.95 shipping. And if you apply your $10 coupon, you're in. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. All right. Don't forget to use the code, y'all. We'll keep saying that because you can't believe how, I know I forget to use codes sometimes. So we're just going to keep helping you remember. Now you can purchase just a bag of blocking mix if you need it. It's $15.95. And we do have 20 quart bags available over on our big website if you need that. But this little bag will make over 600 blocks. And we recommend sifting all seed starting mix. Doesn't matter where you get it, or if you made it, or if you buy this. When you're starting seeds, you just want the finest mix, and that will give you just the best start. So that's $15.95. Now, here is the sifter. And again, y'all, don't forget to use the work coupon, okay? Now, we haven't shown this one in a while. This is the soil set. So let me show you what's all in here. This is for the folks that want to make their own blocking mix at home. So this soil set includes a seed pan. You can never have enough of these. The toothpick dispenser, which says right on the back, the Gardener's Workshop, 25 years and growing. That's us. And then it also includes the fungus gnat fighting kit, which if you start seeds indoors, you definitely need to practice preventative fungus gnat. We put these bits in our watering can, these bits, and you just use it to water on Wednesdays. And then it also comes with the sticky traps to capture the adults. And then it also has the DIY nutrient. This is a 50-50 mix of green sand and rock phosphate. It's powder, which is what you need for seed starting mix. But friends, the big bonus in this set is the sifter. This is what you need to sift your compost, your cocoa fiber, or your peat moss. Everything that's going into your recipe should be, and so see how it just fits right on a 5-gallon bucket, and you can see there's some debris in there. Everything, and there's nothing wrong with debris, y'all. That is full of biology, good stuff. Put it out in your garden, put it in a big container. You just don't want it in your little teeny seed starting blocks, right? So you get all of this stuff for $58.95. And you add your compost and your peat moss or cocoa fiber, and you're ready to make your own soil blocking mix. And it's $58.95. Everything is available separately here inside the app if there's something there that you feel like you need to have. All right, so I mentioned about the trays. I use flat bottom trays with no drainage holes. Flat means there's nowhere for moisture to get trapped to grow funky stuff, right? This is a 5 1/4 inch square. It holds one set of 20. It's $1.95 or $7.80, shoot, for 25 of them. This is the one that holds 40 of the small soil blocks. It's a 5-pack. This is reusable foam, y'all. We use them for years. This is not meant to be disposable. It's $2.95 for the 5-pack or $11.80 for the 25. And this is the set that comes in your kit. It has a 5-pack. It's $3.95 for 5 or $15.80 for a 25-pack. And folks, once you use one of these garden markers, which are made to resist UV rays and moisture, you'll never use another pen. So this is a wooden marker. It's been outside for a season. You can still clearly read it. The garden marker is $6.95. And if you have gardeners in your life, this is a great Christmas stocking stuffer. I mean, everybody, we have them everywhere. This is what we use to mark all of our trays with on masking tape. All right. So the rest of the story for starting your seeds, the other part of the story, is a seedling heat mat. Whether we're starting cool or warm, we always use a seedling heat mat. Has a built-in thermostat. And when we're starting cool season hardy annuals, we simply plug it in like we always do, but we push the camera down, sister. So you have your mat fired up, plugged in. We just put a cookie cooling rack on it that creates a little airspace, because cool season still needs warmth to know when to sprout, but they don't need it hot, and this works great. So hit your kitchen and get a cookie cooling rack. The heat mat is $39.95, and 4 of those trays will fit on here for starting.
And it raises it about 15 or 20 degrees from the room temperature.
Right. So it bases its temperature off the air temperature. And I'm going to say it again, y'all. Do not forget to use the WORK coupon code when you're checking out. All right, so this is the watering can that we just love around here. We love it. Look at that long spout. That's the ticket right here, y'all. This holds 4 cups of water. It's a quart. It's stainless steel. It's $29.95, and for flower arrangements that you don't want to take out of the vase, watering your soil blocks, your house plants, it is just a really nice one, because you can leave it sitting out. You don't got to worry about stowing it away, right? This is how I have so much garden, y'all. This is the biodegradable film. It's based on a plant-based product, and it looks like plastic, and it works like plastic. Plastic or any film, film that doesn't allow water to penetrate. I'm not talking about landscape fabric. Blocks light from getting to the surface of your beds. And that's what prevents annual weed seeds from germinating. It comes with a light side and a dark side. When I'm making fall and winter beds, we put the dark side up. When we're making beds in warm weather, late spring and summer, we make it with the light side up. That cools the temperature down at the surface, and it is so easy to plant through, y'all. Literally, you can poke your finger through if you push hard enough. It comes in several lengths, 20, 50, and 100. The 20-footer, they're all 48 inches wide. The 20-footer is $14.95. You can mulch on top of it if you're using it in a landscape type of application, but in working cutting gardens, you don't even see this after the plants grow up, right? There's multi-pack discounts available. It gives you a choice, and changed my world. Comes with a little plastic sleeve inside of it, so you can literally put it on like a hoe handle on cinder blocks and pull it out, and it just makes you watch the video that's on the product. So that is how we prevent weeds, and we definitely use it for our cool season, because you may not think that plants grow during the winter, but let me tell you, there's tons of native weeds that grow like chickweed, and all of that needs to be controlled. So you've probably heard me talk about, I just absolutely love this insect netting. It's made to use like a row cover, completely covering a bed to prevent insects from penetrating, like flying insects, to come in and get on crops. For us, that would be kale, broccoli, cauliflower, those types of things, and it works great for that. But I use it for other things, particularly right now in fall when we're planting a lot of cool flowers. Typically, it still stays warmer longer now than it used to, so I make what's called a sun cap, and I demonstrated on the video that's on the product, but I love this. It's different than row cover because it allows more light in and more heat out. And when I use it as a sun cap, that just shades the bed and cools it down. It's lightweight and stretchy. It's all 6.5 feet wide, the same width as row cover, and it comes in 3 lengths. The 20-footer is $33.95, and I just keep finding it's much more durable than row cover. Also, it's stretchy like a pair of pantyhose. Love this stuff, y'all. And then, of course, we're heading into, so I use insect netting up until winter. You know, I mean, it has no warmth factor, right? So that's used for different purposes. But once we start needing a little bit of wind and warmth protection, that's when we use row cover. Row cover is also 6.5 feet wide. 20, 50, and 100-foot feet are long are available, and this is the lightest weight row cover because it allows the maximum amount of light in, which is what we want, because sometimes I use it often all winter long depending on what we're growing. So that is a 20-foot piece is $12.95.
Do we still have the big rolls of this on our
There
on
is
our
some
website?
on stock. There are longer rolls over on our big website, 250 and 500, I think.
Do folks need to use the hoops with the insect netting or the row cover?
So yes, I recommend the floating row cover, in fact, can be used without hoops for very short-term use. Like, for instance, you sow seeds and you want to protect it from birds. But if you're going to use it more than 10 days or so, it's definitely recommended to use the hoop. And insect netting, definitely I would use the hoops for sure. All right. Once again, I'm just going to tell you what the rundown is. This is the Labor Day sale, $10 off of orders of $75 or more for in-stock products only. And that is on product. That does not include shipping and taxes. You can use it on the website or the app, which is where you are right now. And this cannot be combined with other offers and excludes gift certificates, the club, my course or our courses, and any prior purchases. And you can use it up until midnight Monday Eastern time. All right, remember, use the work code at checkout, right? So Suzanne is going to take over and share with you.
So we're going to talk about our support netting, which we have multiple uses for this. This is our support netting. It is a 6x6 square. It's plastic. And we use this to support our flowers, and just about everything on the farm gets support netting except for sunflowers because they grow so quickly. And we install this tautly over the flowers, and you literally want to install it while they're still young so it can just literally grow through, and you learn very quickly how to harvest flowers through this. But we also use this as a planting grid. We'll roll this out on the bed, and then you know exactly how far apart 6 inches is, so it helps you plant. So this is 36 inches wide. You can get a 20 foot for $11.95 or a 50 foot for $21.95. And we use this, we don't ever leave any loose netting hanging off of the edge or on the ground because it can harm wildlife. So you want to be sure it's installed and that it's taut, and cut off any loose edges when you're installing that. Next up we have our green vertical netting, and it's the 6x6 just like the horizontal netting, but this you use for sweet peas, you can use it for beans, and the important thing about this, 2 things, it's green, so it works great, it just disappears in your garden, unlike the white, which kind of stands out like a sore thumb, but the green just totally disappears. But the most important thing about installing this is what you're installing it on, because those things get heavy, so you have to be sure that you're using good sturdy tall side stems. We usually use pipes of some kind, don't we? Isn't that what we usually use, Lisa, is a pipe?
For the vert, yes.
For the vert, instead of a wood post
yeah.
or something. You want
Right.
something that's going to stay, and then you have to connect it at the top too. And the green is 6.5 foot by 30 foot. It's $14.95. And you can also cut this to use it horizontally or any other way you want, because the green is great if you're growing out in a neighborhood where you don't want to.
I don't think that's 6-inch squares, right? Didn't we
is it?
discover that? Didn't we figure that out when we were installing it? It's more. It's a little bit. The square. It's similar, but it's not exactly 6x6 like for using a planting grid.
Right.
Like
so
we
you
do
use the white for the planting grid,
Right.
not the green. Okay. All right, so next up we have one of my favorite things, and that is the super cushy cushion. And this cushion is so thick. I've never seen a thick one like this anywhere else, guys. It's 15 by 20, 2 inches thick. It only weighs 20 ounces, so it's really lightweight. But it is so thick, and it really helps your knees. As I'm getting older, I carry this around with me all the time, scrubbing the floor, clipping the dog's nails, working in the garden, anything that you're going to kneel, you want this between your knees and the ground. And it's $42.95. And not only is this wonderful for you to have, but to give as a gift. And trust me, they'll think of you every time they're kneeling and their knees aren't hurting. $42.95. All right, next we have our hand weeder. We call this our Bobo weeder because this is Bobo's favorite tool to post through the Bio 360 to plant our little seedlings.
The Bobo tool.
This is the Bobo weeder. It's $8.95, and it's just really a nice made, sturdy. You can also use it for dandelions, which is what it's made for, but we use it to poke through that Bio 360 to plant our seedlings. $8.95. Remember, add all these things up. If you spend $75 and use the work code, then you get $10 off. All right, next up we have our shears. Let me show you mine on my hip. So these are our shears. They're actually bonsai shears, and we love them because they're sharp, they're spring-loaded, and they're smaller in our hand. As we're getting older, it's tough to use the bigger clippers. That just makes your hand tired after a while. But these just cut effortlessly, and these guys are $41.95. We keep them at our side all the time. Use them to cut woodies, use them to cut big sunflowers, and we just love them. We will send you a new one. It does have a little strap on it if you want to put it on your arm. I see a lot of arrangers do that so that they don't lose them either. So $41.95, perfect gift too, guys. Next up is our Hori Hori digging knife. I call this the rock harvest knife because this is actually made of material that you're supposed to use down in the soil. You don't want to use things you're not supposed to use to pry up a rock. This is what you want. It's got the serrated edge, so you could split up a perennial or dig up anything that's going to be difficult, and has this nice leather cover. It's $46.95, and it is the perfect gift. Men especially love these kind of tools. They're a lot of fun. So $46.95, get one for your friend. Don't forget to use the code WORK and get your $10 off. All right, so next we're gonna do the Bouquet Studio. Let me get my gloves.
I can't wait for y'all to see what she's gonna do. That's not my glove.
Okay, it's important that you have a left-handed and a right-handed glove. So I wear gloves, just keeps my hands clean. Makes everything look pretty. Okay, are we straight? All right, so this is what I've chosen to arrange for you today. And what I'm gonna do is make a hand bouquet, and I'm gonna go from summer to fall. All right, we have some great, maybe. We have some great lemon basil, which smells wonderful. I'm gonna start out with some lemon basil and just simple arrangements, some coxcomb and some zinnias. I always hold the flowers down on their stem. You don't ever want to hold a zinnia up by its little neck because it's hollow and it will break. If it does break, you can stuff it in the middle of your arrangement. It doesn't seem to affect its life, but it just will not hold its little head up high. Look at this one's a double. So I'm going to spread these out. I kind of do a triangle. So a coxcomb here, and then I will put a coxcomb on this side. And then I have this wonderful, this is a new seed.
Yep.
What is this one called, sister?
Shimmer.
Shimmer. And I just love monochromatic arrangements. It's just very soothing to have the whole thing be in the same color theme. I just love it. I love everything about it. So this is my summer version of this. Put some more zinnias in here. So see how beautiful that is? Just simple coxcomb zinnias and a few plumes. And now we're going to transform it into fall. How are we going to do that? We're going to add in some dark stuff. Look, just a stem of this.
Mahogany Splendus.
Mahogany Splenda. And then I'm
Cinnamon.
going to add in some cinnamon basil, which has that nice dark leaf on it. Put that in there. And then this helenium, which I always call helium. Helenium, this is the perfect fall colors. You put that in there and it immediately turns it into a fall arrangement. And it's just simple, easy. Just make a triangle. Get my compost bin. I'm going to trim them here. And today I'm making them into a bouquet to take to someone instead of putting them in a vase. And I'm going to use the large craft sleeve.
With flower food.
And we got flower food I put on the bottom. And the large craft sleeve, this one is the 20 inch. And you can decorate this. You can put happy birthday Sharon. My neighbor just had a birthday. You can say happy birthday Sharon. You just slip it in. And look how beautiful that is. If you're doing farmers markets, this is a perfect fall bouquet. People will eat this up. And it's just beautiful. Now we also have the 12-inch sleeve, which is for a smaller bouquet. You don't have to use all these flowers. You can make 3 bouquets out of this and give them to 3 friends. You can see this says, I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. So the craft sleeves are perfect to decorate for each occasion, and we just love that. So next up, I want to show you what it looks like in a clear sleeve. Now I'm showing you this because this is how we actually used it. We would have this is just our wire rack that we use to store everything. And I just simply put the rack, some hangers, and hang it on here. And this is
Because it comes this way.
Yeah, it comes with holes at the top, and you just pull this out and just slip it in and pull it, and it's done.
This is how we make 250 bouquets every Thursday afternoon.
Super simple. And see, you can just see the bouquet from the side. So there's some stores that we used to sell to that required a clear sleeve. They didn't like the craft. Then there's other stores that required a craft sleeve. So it just depends on what you want. But you can see the flowers from the side much better in the clear sleeve. And how much are the clear sleeves, Susie? They're $29.95 and you get a 50 pack. So you can also give them to a friend in these. But yeah, take your summer bouquet you make it all summer and just add a few dark colors and boom, it's ready for fall. And I'm ready for fall. Bring on the cool weather.
Yes, sir. I'm looking for the
What's next, sister? The
seeds.
Yep.
Oh, let's revisit, y'all. Remember, I am giving away a $25 store credit You have to hit the button to get on the wait list, and we pull from that wait list. And you have to be here at the end of the show when we pull it to claim it. And we'll drop it $25 right into your, I need the seed cards for the first few. Yeah, we need Blue Better, Salvia. That's all right. So why don't I just go on to the others, and then y'all get them. We'll just skip past them. All right, sorry, y'all. We're doing a little tech work here. Our tech problem kind of put us off our game. I always share how to store seeds so you can buy seeds when you meet them, and then you know you're storing them properly. These are desiccant packs, and these absorb any moisture, humidity, condensation, all of that. You can get a 2-pack for $2.95 or a 10-pack for $9.95, and cool and dry is the secret ingredient. Oh, here we go. To storing seeds. Now, first up, before I start into all these beautiful blooms, we're going to show you 2 new introductions. And in fact, I used to grow this one years and years ago. Has anybody ever grown Salvia Blue Better? It's Salvia farinaceae is the botanical name. And this is just a great purple bloom. My florist loved them. And we have brought it back. So get ready for a new cool flower. That is the Salvia Blue Better. And then we have a new pincushion mix. This is the triple berry mix. This is the salmon, the Fire King, and the Black Knight together, y'all. And it is just gorgeous. So instead of having to buy 3 packs of seeds, you just have to buy 1. So those are some new introductions. And I actually have 3 blooming cool flowers. Those are both cool flowers, y'all. Cool Season Hardy Annuals. And I have 1 blooming here. And this is 1 stem of Tweedia. So y'all have to look at that blue. How awesome is that? Tweedia is a cool flower, and look how long the stem is, y'all. This one has been growing in a container out on my porch. So Tweedia is a cool flower. We absolutely love that. And another just big favorite cool flower is straw flowers, y'all. The most under-recognized and used flower. It's born dry, and we have it in the mix, but we also sell all the separate colors. This was a huge bouquet filler for us all summer. Sister, where do you want me to put the flowers? And y'all, look at this cool flower. This is a favorite. Look at this stuff. You know what this is? This is Helenium. And Helenium can be a short-lived perennial in some areas, but we treat it as a cool flower, meaning we plant it every fall. I think it's winter hardy to zone 5, but you can plant it again in very early spring to extend the season. This is an amazing, well, you saw Suzanne use 1 stick and it changed the bouquet. Helenium red and gold is a favorite. Now, don't know if you saw my reel earlier this morning. I promised that I would show. This is Love in a Puff. This is not hairy balls, y'all. This is a vine that grows. This is one of the flowers that's growing on our big tunnel outside, and it is amazing. First off, this stem vine will hydrate. You can use it as long as its end is in water. It'll stay hydrated for several days, and it's pretty magical, y'all. Look at those green balls, and it is so cool out in the tunnel. Now, the coolest thing about these are aged out seed pods. Wait till I show y'all a seed. I mean, Susie and I were just discussing, there's only one way this seed was ever made. That is God, y'all. Look at this. Each and every seed has a heart on it. Can y'all see that? Is
Love
that
in a puff?
Love in a puff. I mean, how does that happen? I have to know. I mean, I know he does it, but it's like, how can it be a perfect heart every time? So Love in a Puff, reseeds, beware, is tons of fun. Get the free course on building a tunnel when you download our Learn app, which is free also.
It's thorns.
And then, y'all, this is pumpkin on a stick. This is actually an ornamental eggplant. And Suzanne's going to show, this is the vase that we did a couple weeks ago. It's now drying. It definitely has thorns. You have to dethorn it using a knife. There's no simple way to do it, but it's so worth it because this is a great crop that's in demand in October. If you can imagine having a booth full of those, how many of those do you think you could sell, right? And then our beautiful, my favorite, rooster peppers. So this is them before they're stripped and green. What is so special about this pepper? It's a cut flower. You can eat it, but it's been selected as cut flowers. This is what's special, y'all. All the fruit rises above the foliage that needs to be removed when you use it as a cut. How quick was that? That's not the way it is with other peppers. So we use tons of it in fresh bouquets, green. And then we also, somebody asked, so we're showing it. I made this with my club members last fall. We'll be making more this winter. This is a rooster pepper wreath that I made. And once they turn red, I make these little bunches and dry them, or actually you don't have to dry them. We put them on fresh and they dry on the wreath. But yeah, that is like the easiest, funnest thing ever. And speaking of that tunnel that the Love and a Puff grows on, guess what else is growing on out there? My hyacinth bean is so gorgeous, y'all. It is covered with bees and hummingbirds. So these little blooms develop into these purple beans, and they are edible. You have to look up online. You need to let the beans develop. But these are not a great cut like in making bouquets to sell. It doesn't last long enough. But for your table or for a special event, look at those beautiful little pink blooms. That is really pretty awesome. And then here's that purple that Susie Q used in her bouquet. This is Mahogany Splendor. And we use this doesn't get a bloom. We grow this for what you're looking at right now. It's very productive. You don't need to grow much. And that is something that we time to actually only be available late in the summer. Nobody wants that in spring, right? And then our basils. This is the cinnamon Suze used in her bouquet. You can see it's got the dark stem and flower. Totally love that. But look at it compared to the lemon. The lemon is so much lighter, right? And so the lemon was the #1 requested foliage filler. Light green, Miss Burns. And then this is the one that's actually on wait list. We'll have that for next season. This is the Everleaf Basil. And what is special about this, it's lemon, is that it doesn't bloom as quick and it grows really tall. And it holds up a little bit better than Miss Burns does. So we love her. And then I wanted to show you guys, azuratum is one of my favorite annuals to grow. I mean, look at this color. Who couldn't use that? But guess what? When it stops blooming like it should, when the days start getting shorter, we use it for foliage. There's no blooms on this. It'll hold up. These are already, we had some from last week. So this foliage, just treat it like basil, meaning strip it well and get it indoors. Now, Gumphrena is another beauty. Look at this one, y'all. Look, this is the bottom. Look how tall this Gumphrena is. You can grow tall Gumphrena. So we love Gumphrena. This is another one that you can make wreaths out of. Make little bunches and dry them and then make the same type of wreath as the pepper. This is the Audra Pink. And then this is the Audra, this is the bicolor rose. Isn't that cool? And they also sell a mix, which is in the app. And then look at this one. This color is not in the mix. This is purple red, which is the best for summer bouquets. And then this is the best for any time, y'all. And I love it dried. This is the white. And Gumphrena dries so beautifully, y'all. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Who wouldn't be in love with this, right? This is Jura Salmon. This is a seed that was saved by Jamie Rhodes, a flower farmer in Nebraska, and then we had a seed grower grow it. Limited supplies left available. Look at this, y'all. So beautiful. And it's got a good head. It's a brancher. And then look at this one. This is a brighter kind of pale orange color. This is my favorite for making bouquets. The Jura Salmon, designers and florists eat it up. They love this too. But this is the really great bright choice for bouquet making. And then there's this, the one that's good for anything. This is Act Green. and love this stuff. And then if you're new to coxcomb, this is the one I would grow. This is the mix. It has all the colors in it. Great branchers, totally useful. So, and all of them have super long stems. Now this is the same that's in the mix, but these colors. This is the rose, which is like a hot pink. This is my favorite summer color. It just pops up every bouquet. It's so beautiful. And then here's the gold. You know, we grew all the solid colors as well as some mix. The solid, like this, you can never have enough of this color in fall, right? As well as this color. This is persimmon, orange, my favorite color if you didn't know that. This is persimmon. All of these are branchers, great habits. And then this is, so Higyoku is a different variety, and there's two different ones. One's got green foliage and one has dark foliage. Red stem, green stem. And you can see the colors are kind of different. This is more of a scarlet red. So this is the green stem, which is really pretty and useful. And then this is the red stem. And they have a great habit too. And then of course, y'all know we start the heck out of some sunflowers, right? This is the bouquet mix, and we're going into sunflower season now. So hopefully you've been planting them every week. I'm still planting every week till the end of September. Pro Cuts is the key. They're quick to bloom from seed. Y'all, this is the best apricotta cosmos we've had in a lot of years. And you can see the little salmon blushes. This is really fun. You know, cosmos prefer fall, just like dahlias do. Oh yeah, what is this? This is the same. I thought we had more. Here it is, y'all. I knew they were gorgeous. Look at that. So this is what I want to tell you. These were cut last week, and they still look decent, which is unusual for cosmos. This is what Bobo cut yesterday. How gorgeous are they? How pretty is that? So these are all from our third succession. This one is, I don't think I told you this. This is fizzy. I've already done that. This is fizzy white. We didn't bring this one up, but it's here in the app. Fizzy white has multiple petals and it's white. And then this is double click mix. So these are the cosmos. All the colors are available individually. But cosmos bloom more in the fall, just like dahlias, because of the shorter days, right? All right, here we come. Yeah, and so here is the perfect fall cosmo while we're sorting out. We have so many flowers, y'all. This is cranberry. Is that not perfect for fall? Love that one. It's cranberry double click. They're the same. No, that's it. There is no orange.
I got it.
All right, so here are our, y'all, we have so many flowers. It's so awesome. This is the Cocoa Gold. Look at these blooms. This is how I like to cut them, while you still see a little green in the center like that. And gold is a really great color. There is an orange in this series. We just don't have any today. And then the brightest color is the lemon. And they're just so incredibly useful. Long lasting. They literally will root in the base. And then here's my all-time favorite. This is White Swan. It's not white, y'all. It is buttercream. And the best part, has no fragrance. Absolutely.
So I have to go from smelling these
stinkers
to no smell to what's next. Smells like maple syrup. We used to always say in the farm when we're cutting
pancakes.
Flowers. I smell pancakes. Is somebody having pancakes and these smell like maple syrup?
So now we're on to grasses. This is the Purple Majesty millet. It looks like a corn plant. And y'all, this is one of the funnest plants to grow. You harvest it just as the cattail looking head is beginning to emerge. And this was sunflowers. Again, this is a fall one, right? And this is what happens when you cut them too old. We're letting it go. So let's see if I can get it here. This is the stage to cut it. Can you see the heads just starting to come out? Because this is what you don't want to happen to your customers. See that yellow pollen? this entire thing will get pollen sitting in here in a vase. You don't want to give that to your customer. So this is my go-to, sorry y'all, I poked you with the millet. This is, let me get the part that was just cut. So these were being hung to dry. See those bigger heads? And then this is what Bobo cut yesterday. And my favorite stage to use it is when the heads are pretty erect, still standing up. They're the easiest to use in bouquets. When they start that dangling business, like this is perfect. When they start draping, which is cool, it's just not as easy to use that way. And we're all about easy, right? So this is my go-to always. I've grown it for 28 years now. This is Kramer's High Z. It's all magenta, a beautiful green stem with red veins. And then look at this, y'all. This is flamingo feather. How beautiful. These are all celosia plumes. And here is, oh, meet Texas, y'all. And she's big. Look at this. This is another seed that we have grown. And there's one particular one in here. Here it is that I wanted to show you guys. Look at this color. This is like shrimp. Gosh, it's beautiful. So the Texas plumes is another seed that we did have grown. They are taller than I am out in the garden. Totally love it. It's really beautiful. A lot of hot magenta. Great summer bouquet material. And then look at this, y'all. These are new. This is the Celosia Shimmer. Look at that shrimp. Salmon, whatever you want to call it. Buttercream. We love this Celosia Shimmer. And then also Selway, which is another Celosia plume. This is the terracotta. This is great for fall. Best habit, most uniform Celosia I have ever grown is the Selway series. So Suzanne is hustling some flowers here, y'all.
Oklahoma.
This is Oklahoma, y'all, if you didn't recognize the song. This is the small zinnia. We really love this one. And we always use these in our bouquet making to have different size zinnias. Oh, wait. And then it also, we offer it in the pink. Those are Oklahomas too. And y'all stand by for beautiful. Look, this is Queen Mix. All of these colors are available individually. This is the peach, the new peach color. They're so beautiful. I mean, they're made for fall, right? And then this is Queen Lime. They're just smaller than the Benary's Giant, but who doesn't love a green flower? And then the other zinnias, these are the Inca Cactus. You know, they have the frilly petals, and they have all different colors of orange. You know, guess why we picked that one? Would be me. And then look at the Giant Cactus Mix. These are great colors, y'all. You don't get this in any of the other zinnias. They're just so cool. And then I know that I think we're sold out of the seed on this one for now, but we'll get it back. This is Uproar Rose, and it is also a color not available in any other zinnia. Love Uproar Rose. And then how about this for fall? This is Zowie. This is a color that I typically don't plant or get it blooming until late summer and fall because it was made for fall, right? And then there's the Benary's Giant Lime Green. They're not giants though, y'all. They're just Benary's, sorry. And look at that, how beautiful they are. Really love them. Now we're on to the Benary's, y'all. This is the bright pink. You know, you don't always think of having pink in the fall, but there's always use for a little bit, because if you get that baby shower, if somebody's having a little girl, you need to take a bouquet, that is really great. Then this is Lilac. These are all Benary's Giants, really pretty. And then this is purple, see how it's darker? This is purple. And there you go. And then this is the one, the color of the zinnia Suzanne used in her bouquet. This is a color, it's salmon. You can never have enough of in fall, ever have enough. I would have florists, everybody calling for more salmon, and we just never had enough. Look how beautiful they are. Then this is the scarlet red. This is what you should have like a ton of for 4th of July, y'all. Look at these Benaries. They're just the best. The biggest, most voluptuous, most productive, longest lasting zinnia that we've grown, and the most commercially grown. And then y'all look at orange. How great is that?
Where's one?
It was around. We have a missing color. Maybe it's called wine, so maybe he's in the corner somewhere. Just here it is, right here.
That was purple.
No, it's not.
Oh, is it behind the mix? Sorry, guys. She's hiding.
So this is orange. I think I showed you that one. And then we have deep red, which is a deeper, darker. You can see how dark it is, right? But that is really cool in the fall. And then here is the missing in action wine. And all these dark colors, I typically only grow in the fall, right? But then there's this one. This is coral.
Carmine.
I don't see carmine yet. We're looking for carmine, sister.
We got all of them.
Nope, I saw it earlier. We're putting an APB out for coral, carmine.
The zinnias are going crazy here. We're having a crazy zinnia day.
I had my hands on it earlier. Okay, we're skipping over carmine. He'll show up in the minute we show up. This is coral, y'all, which is a fluorescent color. I love coral. I mean, it's great for fall. And then we have white. It's right there.
Oh,
We had it the whole time, y'all. That's white. I love to cut it when it's green like this and like this. And then let's go back to carmine. Carmine is the color of bubble gum. I used to describe it to florists. It's like watermelon color. Love that one. And then who cannot have enough yellow in fall? Look at those. The secret with yellow zinnias, y'all, is to cut them like this earlier than you do others. See, these are already too old. I wouldn't sell that. See how it's getting a little dirty in the middle? This is how you want it to look. How beautiful. And then, of course, the entire mix, you can get them all in a mix together of the Benary's Giants.
green.
Huh?
Except green.
Except lime green. Thank you, sister. Yes. All the colors except for lime green are not included in the mix. It's just a little shorter. Its habit's not exactly the same. So, my friends, it is time for me to wipe the counter and for us to wrap up. And we have got some things to do here, right? So, stick around to the very end. I'm going to need water, please. For the Q&A, something, must have been those zinnias. Remember that over on our big website, thegardenersworkshop.com, you can find so much stuff, y'all. We have videos, blogs. You can connect with our 2 podcasts, Field and Garden that I host, and then also Seed Talk with Lane and Lisa. Thank you, sister. And I am hosting Ask a Flower Farmer this Wednesday on Instagram. That's every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. The Gardener's Workshop hosts Ask a Flower Farmer. And we have different hosts from time to time. And join me on the Gardener's Workshop Farm Instagram handle. And remember, meet us back here next Friday for the live shopping show. And remember, I do a Wednesday night at 8 p.m. show. And I do pop-ups. And if you want to be notified when the pop-ups come, be sure the notifications are on in your app. And y'all remember that we have a Labor Day $10 off of a $75 product purchase. You have to use the work coupon code when you're checking out. And it's valid here in the app or on our website. And you cannot combine this with other offers, excludes gifts, certificates, the club, courses, prior purchases, and you can use it until midnight Monday night, right? So check that out. Oh, and we have a lucky winner of our $25 gift certificate, y'all. And I hope she's here. So if you're here, give us a big shout out in the comments. And our winner is Dorothy Chadwick. Dorothy, if you are here, give us a shout. And the girls will just put in the comments that you're here. And the girls will drop a $25 credit right into your cart. Thank you for participating and congratulations. All right, friends, so stick around for the Q&A, but if you're heading out, thanks for joining us. So let's see, when do you start your watering regimen? Liquid, seaweed, fish, mosquito bits, compost tea bags. You know my story, right? Do you wait until you have the 50% germination of your soil blocks? Oh, Dorothy, you're here. Congratulations. So the girls are literally typing away, dropping 25 buckaroonies right into your cart. And thanks for participating. We really appreciate it. So this is a great question. I don't only trays that are under the grow lights or outside on the carport get any kind of fertilization. That's tea bags or the seaweed fish. With the mosquito bits, which is pre-treating to prevent fungus gnats, everybody gets that. So does that make sense? So mosquito bits from the get-go. Every time I water with that on Wednesdays, everybody gets it that's indoors. You haven't got to do that outdoors. Doesn't matter out there. Indoors. And only those under grow lights or out on the carport actually get fertilized. So it's a good question. Rooster peppers, how do I dry them to use later to create a wreath like Lisa did last year? So you can make the little bunches as you, first off, we let them turn red in the garden. And because we're always trying to eliminate steps, streamline everything, I oftentimes will cut them fresh, make the bunches, and make a wreath. But that doesn't always work out. But you just make those little bunches like I showed. You don't want really big bunches because that's hard to make the wreath with. So you just make the little bunches and hang them on a string anywhere so they dry hanging down, and then you make your wreath. Are there any cut flower varieties with a shorter days to bloom time, running out of time very quickly here in Connecticut? Yeah, and on top of running out of time, you're running out of day length too. That's another part of the problem.
You also use that for your wreath.
Okay. And so the shortest days to bloom would be sunflowers, the pro-cut sunflowers that we start. You know, all sunflowers are different. There are sunflowers that take 120 days to bloom, so you have to look that up for your variety. That's why we grow pro-cuts. But other than pro-cuts, and I don't even know that you have 60 days left in Connecticut probably. So, all right, and then I wanted to show you, this is what we make the wreath with. I use a grapevine wreath base. This is our flexi string, or flexi tie they call it, and it's stretchy, but it holds a darn knot, y'all. Do you see the knot there? I love this stuff. This is 200 feet. It's like 23 bucks or something. Susie, it's in the app. Flexi is all you have to look for, F-L-E-X. And this makes making a wreath a snap because you just pull it and you leave it in this package like this. Totally love that. Do you know if straw flowers will grow in part shade? Not as good as they do in full sun. The problem with part shade, and I know because I came from a part shade house, so I know all about this, is they stretch taller and longer. They don't bloom as much. The blooms aren't as big, and then they don't repeat bloom. You know what I mean? They don't regrow is the problem.
They torture you.
Yeah, they torture you for sure. I know. I did it. So to give them as much sun as possible, and until you test it, you just won't know, but certainly beefing up your soil as much as possible. You know, just having nice, good draining soil really, really helps. Is the Celosia Selway Terracotta a come and cut again? Holy cow, yes. It has got the best branching. It's the most uniform Celosia I have ever grown. That's what happens when you get new hybrids. You know, they've done them for all these qualities, and yesterday I just couldn't stop cutting it. It's just so darn beautiful, and the side shoots are as good as the center shoot. So yes. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me here. Remember to turn on your notifications because I'm going to try to do a pop-up this weekend on one of these family of flowers that we saw here today that I want to go a little deeper on. So keep your notifications on, and I'll give you a little dingy poo when I go live. All right, my friends, is that all, sister?
I think so.
All right, friends, have a wonderful and very safe Labor Day. I almost said Memorial Day. Labor Day weekend. All right, friends. And don't forget, use the work coupon code when you check out. And you can use it here in the app and over on the website.